And I say a lot because I have a brain fart. Thank you.
I passed! Yes! Yeah! Woo! Here is how I passed the National Marriage and Family Therapy exam after failing the first time. Hi, my name is Kevin Yu, and now I am finally a licensed marriage and family therapist. Yes, 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 yes. It is a great feeling to be finally done with this exam. And today what I wanted to share with you all is my experience, some tips that I thought could be helpful for you going through this journey, because for me it was definitely really, really difficult, since test taking is not my forte or cup of tea, whatever you would like to say. And this is the second time I took this exam. The first time I took it was Illinois, and that kind of goes into my first tip. You can actually take it here in California. Currently I am living in LA. I wanted to get licensed in Illinois first. Since my family's there, I always wanted to open up a private practice there, and I didn't know that you could actually take the licensing exam in California. I thought you had to take the licensing exam in the state that you wanted to get licensed in. Couldn't find that anywhere online, so hopefully that saves you some travel, because I did not know that. The first time I took the exam, I thought I had to fly to Chicago to take the exam, to sit for it. But in reality, you can schedule the test whatever state you are in. Who knew? Let's give you a little timeline. I took the exam in November of 2021. I didn't get my test results back until December, so one following month. Something that was interesting for me was I couldn't retake the exam until I figured out my test results. So my mom was like, had too much faith when I took it the first time. She was like,
maybe you should just apply now, pay the $300. If you find out that you do pass, great, but if not, then it can speed it up and then you can retake it in January.
Because there's cutoffs on what days you can take the exam. So say like you want to take the January test times, let's say like December 5th is the cutoff date. So I took the exam in November, and if I waited past December 5th, the next time I would be able to take the exam is in February. So that was like, I guess, my second tip. So the journey continues. I found out my test results in December, found out that I failed, and then I was like pretty devastated, to be honest. I was like, damn, I have to take this exam again. This sucks. Why me? I didn't study hard enough. All these other things just started unraveling. So then I reapplied to take the exam, and finally in January, I believe, that I was gonna sit for the exam on February 14th. Right away I was like, oh, but it's gonna be a great Valentine's Day. Super romantic. Definitely not going on any dates or anything up until then. Also, my birthday was on February 12th. No way in hell I'm gonna be able to party or do ever birthday festivities that I wanted to do. Day after Christmas, I got COVID. I tested positive. I had to push my flights back and everything to come back to LA because I was celebrating Christmas in Chicago. And then finally, once I got my test date for February 14th, I locked in. So January until February, that test day, I really didn't do much besides study. Still hung out with friends, played some video games, relaxed, worked out, ate, stuff like that. But it wasn't any type of extracurriculars that would deter me from passing this exam, because I did not want to take this again. And that's what really helped me focus, the feeling of failing. So knowing that I did not want to take this again, I had to regroup and think about what did I do wrong, or what would I want to do differently. And the first thing that I wanted to change was the studying portion and trying to follow a curriculum. The first time I went around, I did the Therapist Development Center. It was an online study guide, audio recordings, but also mock exams and different type of quizzes that you can do. And I found it helpful, but I also realized that when I was studying, because it was audio, I would just catch myself procrastinating or checking my phone, looking at Instagram online, or watching YouTube videos. I wouldn't really be obtaining the information because the clips on there is like an hour long, and there's not really like an easy way to skip, scan, and go forward. And there's no video either, so it's just straight audio. And I just found it super boring, and it was very, very counterproductive, because I thought I would be like engaging and taking in all this information, watching these online study guides, but in reality, I was doing nothing. Now I really kind of sat down and reflected on what is gonna be my new approach to take this exam. I found out when you do get your test results back, they give you specific categories that the test is based on. And I looked at the ones that I did really poorly on, and they put an asterisk on there, like, you're below average in this category. These three categories are the ones that I focused on mainly, It's going to be different for everyone. This might be your first time you're taking the exam. So yeah, I reflected at the categories and then also reflected on the way I studied. That was also very, very different. So I reached out to a couple friends, and the book that they recommended for me, which I would recommend, is the National Licensing Exam for Marriage and Family Therapy, Independent Study Guide. After taking the exam, I thought the mock questions on this exam was a lot closer, and how they structured it was very, very similar. And I really, really liked that. And my friend made me a study guide. So thank you, Shannon, for the study guide. I appreciate it because you were a big reason of why I passed this exam. When I failed, I didn't know enough about genograms. Questions about genograms on here were pretty great, pretty similar to how they would ask the questions on the national exam. If you haven't studied already genograms, brush up on that for sure. The symbols and what those symbols mean and how that would actually correlate to answering questions. They would have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions on a genogram, but they might have 2 genograms on the test for you. And knowing those were super important. If you don't know the symbols, you're not gonna get 6 of these questions right. And that was a really, really big thing. And the 3 categories that I was trying to focus on was assessing, hypothesizing, diagnosing, evaluating ongoing process and terminating treatment, the practice of systemic therapy. And those 3 categories were the toughest for me, and this is the 3 sections that I focused on the most. And the cool thing about the study guide is they'll tell you which domain or which category this represents. Let's say, for example, structural therapy. Right under it says the practice of systemic therapy, domain 1. And that was a really, really big help. And it saved me a couple points. In summary, for what helped me was looking over those categories and really focusing on which categories mattered for me and which ones I did poorly on, buying the new book, reading the new book instead of just doing audio. I did the mock exams on the test at TDC, as well as the mock exams through the book and just pencil and paper. Making sure I locked in on the genograms and then also locking in on my study habits, not going out, staying out late, no drinking really. I'm not a big drinker in general. I did celebrate my birthday. I got dinner with friends and we got sushi. It was like super thoughtful for them to invite me out because they knew that I was pretty stressed and overwhelmed. And how I celebrated, because I think that is also really important, is regardless of the results, the process of what it took to get to that point, there is dedication, there is work that is involved, and it's not about the outcomes, it's about the process. After I took the exam, I went to the outlets that were nearby and I was like, let me just do some therapeutic shopping. I think I bought a Levi's jacket on clearance, super awesome. And then I bought some baklava at the baklava factory, and then also had a birthday dinner with my friend Henry in Santa Monica. Thank you, Henry, for dinner. I really appreciate that. I found out the test results in March. I was sitting in the morning and I was like, okay, I got this email and I woke up to it and I was like, oh my God, this is gonna start my day off really great or really awful. Recorded it, posted it on IG, and then I passed. And just hearing the results, seeing the results, I did improve in all the categories that I did poorly on the first time. I'm really glad that I did make that study habit change. I will link both study guides in the link below, the ones that I used, and hopefully those are helpful for you. It really does feel so good to be finally done with this exam. Now I can just focus all my time on building this private practice out, and I'm really excited to share with you this soon on June 21st. The name of the private practice and what we'll be doing, slowly and slowly build from here. So I encourage you all to keep at it, take breaks when you need, because it is a very long journey. It took me about a year to pass this exam, and I'm a very, very poor test taker. If I could pass this exam, even though it took me 2 times, I am sure that you can pass as well. So thanks again for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and share this with someone that you know that is taking or in the process of taking the national exam. And I really appreciate you watching this video because, yeah, when you're in study mode, at least when I was in study mode, every minute counts. And when I was watching YouTube videos, it did take up time. So thank you for taking the time just to watch this video. Hopefully I will post more content around marriage and family therapy. I think I'm gonna post a modeling video soon and how I got into modeling. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace, love, and happiness. Take care. Peace, 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 peace.